Hello, everyone. Hello. How you doing? Welcome to another Random Live from yours truly, LJ, founder of Six Sense. And this series that I'm starting, I'm really seeing what's really going to resonate with people. Not resonate with people. And by going into thinking back when I was inside the narcissistic fog, right? Now that I'm out, sorry, I'm trying to sit up at the same time. Now that I'm out, I think it would be very beneficial because sometimes when I'm alone, I'll just be thinking about the times that I was in it and uh, how I would be today if I was in the same situation and how it would act different. But, we all know that that situation is never going to happen again because not only will I never be with that narcissist, I will never be with any narcissist again for the rest of my life. So that would never happen. So I thought it would be beneficial for me to share these type of incidences. Hold on for a second here. It would be beneficial to share, these things. And these things now, when I say happen these things that happen on in the inside of the narcissistic fog, this is what I mean. And those of you that might be listening, you might be in it, right? Now, the easiest way to show a person that you're in it, everything that the person you're with that says they love you, everything that you're allowing them to do, if you would not allow a stranger to do the exact to do the exact same thing to you, that means you're inside the narcissistic fog because you're allowing this narcissist to do it to you and you're being blinded by excuse me, and you can't see because you're inside the narcissistic fog. So I wanted to share a couple of my moments with you, and because this might be happening to you, because the narcissists, they have this repetitive pattern. And remember, narcissists live in a single perspective of life, and they think that's the world where everybody cheats, everybody lies, people hit each other, physically violent. They yell and scream and argue every single week and every single day, and lose jobs and financially irresponsible, nasty, dirty, don't clean up after. That's only in their perspective. Okay, none of that exists in my perspective of the world today. But anyway, here's a good one. Here's a good one. I remember now, I'm telling you after the fact. Now, I remember she used to always start fights on the weekends. Okay. It was really weird because I used to look forward to, excuse me, I used to look forward to spending weekends with her, like, hey, okay, this is going to be our time. We're going to reconnect and this and that. And next thing you know, she would start a fight on like a Thursday night. It was really weird. I'm like, damn, there goes another weekend. And then she would pack her bag, pack her suitcase, okay, and then she would say, okay, I'm going to take my son over to the grandparents' house, and I'm just going to spend the weekend over there. And then she would pack her suitcase up like she was going over. Now, what she didn't know was a couple of things. I would look at that suitcase and I would remember when I first started seeing her, when I first flew in, I didn't come to her house. We met at a hotel, right? She came with that exact same suitcase because I remember looking at it, I was like, "Oh, that's cute." And when she would leave with that suitcase, I thought to myself, "I am witnessing the other end of what was happening to me, but I was receiving the good side of her at that particular time. I was receiving the nice side, the gentle side, the side that this other person didn't see. It's crazy to think back at that. And I was like, wow. But what she also didn't know is this, and for those of you that might be in a narcissistic fog, I also enjoyed 2 days of peace. Okay, because you guys, you have a choice. You can worry about where they're at, call them. Hey, where you at? How come you're not responding to my? I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I didn't say, hey, where you're at. I didn't. I enjoyed 2 days of peace, and this is what I imagined, because what I imagined is the peace that I have today. Right when she was gone, those 2 days, the negative energy from the house went with her. Okay, it was gone with her. Right, she was not there, so I got to enjoy. I would clean up. I would I would pretend those whole 2 days that I was single. I was alone. I wasn't with anybody. I was just I would imagine this is what it would be like with her not in my life. Right, so, and you got to, even during this time, a couple of times I didn't have a vehicle. It was broke down in the shop. She would leave me the whole weekend with no car at the house, but what she didn't know, I enjoyed it. I didn't care because she wasn't there. So what I did in my mind, it was pretend, imagine what it would be like with her not in my life. And it was so, oh man, it was so peaceful. Oh, it was lovely. She didn't call me. I didn't call her because she was off enjoying herself doing the things she did. But what she didn't know, I was glad she was doing it because I knew one day this was going to end. So I needed to know what it would felt like. So it inspired me. It gave me energy to because she would do that all the time. She would always fight, start a fight on the weekend so she could leave for the whole entire weekend. She would do that all the time, right? Each time I was like, yes, I'm going to have 2 whole days to myself. No arguing, no fighting, no nothing. You have a choice. When they do stuff like that, when they disappear, when they go off on their flings, you let them. Don't call them. Don't do anything. And enjoy them being gone so you can know what it's like when you leave them. This is how it's like for me today. I don't, none of that is in my life. None of that. I don't have any arguing, no fighting, no anything. None of that built up cholesterol that builds up in your brain and heavy weighs down on your brain every day, wondering what they're going to be and what mood they're going to be in for that day, who's going to piss them off, what's going to make them angry. Is it their mama or somebody at the job? It could be anything. And then they're going to bring it home. That doesn't exist in my life anymore. That is a perspective of life that they live, that you don't have to be there. If you're in the narcissist part, you don't. Here's another thing. Here, let me give you another one when I was in there. Now, I've always all my life, I've always been a self-confident person. Okay. And my mother put that into me. I've been self-confident. So when I was in a narcissistic fog with her, I remember slowly, not all the time, it was slowly. She would start to nitpick about something on my body or my age or my butt or my arms are not looking a certain. She would start nitpicking, and I used to always wonder to myself, why does she keep doing that? These are the things I would say to myself because nobody could. She almost tried to make it seem like try to make me seem like I was unattractive or something. I don't know what she, but I know what she was trying to do now that I'm out of it. She was trying to. What I know for a fact is what she's trying to do. What she was trying to do. She was trying to reflect herself, how she felt about herself, onto me because I thought it was weird every time she did. Each time she would do that, in my mind I would say to myself, are you trying to make me believe that I'm unattractive and I don't think women are attracted to me? Well, I don't believe that because that's never been that way my entire life. Now now that I'm out of it, I'm like, oh, that's what they do. They try to push their reflection onto you. I was like, oh, that's why now that I'm out of it, I'm like, oh, because she was the most insecure person I've ever met in my life. They will nitpick anything. I couldn't even crack an egg right. Right. You know what's so crazy? This is so crazy. She would try to. Thank God I was a self-confident person, because if I wasn't a self-confident person, she probably would have broke me. Because when she would nitpick at me like that with something I would do or say or something, I would say, "Why are you doing that? That's weird." And you keep doing it. And sometimes I would turn to her and say, "Hey, stop doing that." But she would keep doing it. It would be like this. She would make fun of things that I do in my life or something, but she would always try to copy me, which made absolutely no sense. I'm like, "Why are you trying to copy me if you don't like what I'm doing?" It made no sense. Like, here, okay, let me talk to the business owners out here. Let me tell you what this narcissist did. If you're in business with a narcissist, let me tell you what this narcissist did. When we started a business together, right? Well, you're responsible for the local city taxes. You know, you got to do all that stuff, right? So she was left in charge of doing that. Big mistake, big mistake, right? So I remember her saying she was a little confused here and there. I'm like, okay, well, if you don't know what it is, just let me know. And y- I know what she really wanted me to do. She wanted me to do it. Like narcissists, they want you to do everything, but enjoy all the money. Okay, that's how they want to work. But no, but I wouldn't fall for it, right? So I said, okay, but you're in charge of that. Okay, cool. Let me know if you need any help. I go to the PO box to check in the box to see if we ain't got no customer, blah 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 in there. I see a thick envelope from the Department of Revenue. Now, if you're a business owner, if you see a thick envelope from the Department of Revenue, it's not a nice message in there. Okay, it's not some, hey, welcome to the business. Nothing like that. Okay, I open it up. Hey, you guys haven't been paying us. Okay, basically, I'm gonna just sum it all down. You guys haven't been paying us. You better get to doing it. I come home. I'm like, hey, you haven't been paying the taxes or the da da da. No, I told you I was having trouble with this and that. I turned to her, I said, you did not tell me that since you could not do it, you decided to stop doing it. You did not tell me that part. If you would have told me that part, I would have took it over. Okay? I would have took it over. And you know what they do? And they blame me. And she tried to blame me for it. It's the stupidest nonsense that the narcissists do. When you're in the narcissistic fog, and be clear with this, okay? These are red flags, okay? People in the narcissistic fog. Narcissists do and say things that literally stop you in your tracks, and they do it at the most oddest moments to catch you off guard, to catch you off balance, and you're just thrown. You just like you're confused. When you get in that state, and I know many of you know what I'm talking about. When you get in that state, if you have the awareness to be aware that you are confused at that current moment, you need to stop. Don't make any decisions at that moment. Just stop, take in that moment, think about it for a few hours, a couple days, get it all the pieces together, and then you'll see why you are confused at that moment, why they said something or did something in that moment. Because when they do things like that, it'll confuse you. Like, here, let me give you a couple examples with this ex narcs did, right? I remember when in the early stages, I remember we were dating, and we're just it's in the early stages, and she wanted to get something done to her mouth or something, and it was going to be very expensive. Okay. And I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, you should look into that, see how much it costs, and maybe you can make some payments on it or something, right, right? Because now I can imagine she was trying to hint at me paying for it or something back then, right? I was like, yeah, you better do that. And then also she comes back to me and says, hey, what if I had a friend that would loan me the money to get my teeth done, and all I had to do was just pay him back? I said, who's your friend that's going to loan you $10,000 to get your teeth done? Oh, he's just a friend. That was the first red flag. Today, if I was in that same situation from with the person who I am today, and I just started seeing, getting to know a person, a woman like that, and she came back and said that, I would just hang up and never talk to her again. Click. That's narcissistic. Not that's narcissist testing you, seeing how you would respond to such a ridiculous request. It's dumb. But if you go, oh, okay, all right, well, and you keep on going, they're going to keep on doing. They always pick the 2% you're not doing perfectly exact. You know why? Because they never do it. Your 2%, it might as well be their 100%. I want you guys to pay close attention. You're probably thinking to yourself, look at all this stuff I do, and they still don't. Yeah, because they can't do 2% of what you do. It was like taking care of a grown child. You hear me? A grown child, like with a temper of why she can't have something or can't do something or something. I'm like, how old are you? What am I doing here? I used to say that to myself. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. Today, when I put myself back in that narcissistic fog situation, that stuff would not happen. The things that she did that I allowed for her to do. That's why people that are in the narcissistic fog, and and I'm talking to the people in the narcissistic fog. When you allow so much stuff that you are embarrassed to tell your family, I want you to listen closely. When you are too embarrassed to tell your family, the narcissist has you trapped. Oh, I've been allowing them to do so many things. You better break out of that stupid nonsense, because there are millions of people in the same situation as you, allowing the same stupid stuff allowed from a narcissist, just like I did. You guys look at me, because I want you guys to get rid of that image that TV puts on TV, that the man that looks like the woman that abuses is a skinny, frail man. No, no, all you gotta do is go watch my videos. I allowed that woman to slap me in my face. You hear me? Slap me. And guess what I did? Stay with her. Sure did. What would I do today? I would have called the police. Do you understand? Somebody got to teach her. If I was in that same situation today and she slapped me, I would have called the police on her and had her arrested. Somebody has to stop her before she hurts somebody, or she gonna get herself hurt, because she's gonna end up she's either gonna go to jail or she's gonna slap the wrong man. It's crazy. That's what they do. When you're in that fog, you don't know what to do. You're just like, why are they treating me this way? Why I'm so good with them, and they just keep getting worse, because you're in their perspective. Now, I didn't know I was into her perspective. I did not know. Listen, I didn't even know I didn't even know perspective existed. Why am I why am I staying with a woman that fools around on me? That doesn't even make sense. And then I'm still saying I love her? That doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense in the narcissistic fog. Nothing. Some days are good. Some days, listen, this is how they do it. And if you read about it, it creates a literal chemical drug in your system. Literally, people, literally. Okay. They give you a little bit of what you saw in them in the beginning, which was fake. That was the fake part. You don't know that was fake. It's almost like giving you a little piece of something to get you started. Now you're hooked. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. And now you go through the whole relationship craving what you had in them from the beginning, not realizing it was a lie from the beginning. Break out of being embarrassed, break out of what would people think and all that other stuff. You look, listen, people in the narcissistic fog, you see how openly I'm talking? You can go see how I look. Go look at, does that look like a man that, do I look like a man that has trouble getting women? Absolutely not. Because it has absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing. It has nothing to do with my looks. Nothing. When you get wrapped up in that fog is real, baby. Real, real. Not many make it out. People in the narcissistic fog, listen to me. Millions don't make it out of that. Millions. Here you are, no record at all, clean record, clean record. A narcissist will cause you to get a record over some stupid stuff. Imagine how many people, and I feel sorry for you if you're listening to this, okay? I do. I honestly am really sorry, feel sorry for you if you got a record behind a narcissist. The law ain't got nothing to do with that stuff, nothing. But they don't care. They will wrap you up in that. She tried to do that with me. She did. She tried to. That's bananas. If you are with somebody, listen, if you are with somebody that wants to ruin you, ruin your life, you're probably with a narcissist for a fact. I, when I break up with somebody, I don't want her life to be ruined. I just don't want to be with her no more. It has nothing to do with me. Even listen, even the narcissist, I don't want her life ruined. I just don't want her nothing to do with me. That's it. I don't care who she's. I don't have no desire to warn the next person. Hey, beware of her. Hey, whoever she gets with again, that's their journey. That's for the next man to figure out. Who knows? It doesn't. None of that. I'm happy it's not with me, and I am thankful for the relationship. Why? Because now I have the gift to be able to help others who may be inside the narcissistic fog, allowing these ridiculous things to happen to them, putting their health at risk, the mindset of their children's futures growing up thinking that stuff is normal, arguing and yelling and screaming and hitting. They think that that's normal. Then guess what? They carry that on to their children and their grandchildren and all that stupid nonsense. I thank God every single day my mother didn't allow that in my young child mind at all. She didn't allow none of that. She protected my mind from the world. She did. She sure did. What happened was this. This is well, I don't know if you want to call it unfortunate. Well, being a child growing up in a no problem having, never out of food, never arguing, drugs, nothing. I didn't love hello everybody, I love you, homework, bedtime, everything. I go out into the world. I think the whole world's like that. I think all my friends in grade school are just like me. Why would I think anything else? I don't know about any of that stuff because of my mother. So I go out into the world all the way up until my adult life. I'm 54 now. I just left the narcissist last year. The narcissist was huge in my life, huge. Now I have a gift, the gift to help other people that are stuck in the narcissistic fog. They don't know way out. They don't even know what to Google. Don't even know what to Google. Don't know what to ask AI. AI don't know. I want you guys to understand the level at which this is. AI doesn't know about what I'm telling you about. The only people that know are the people that experience it and the people that really want to deeply dive and understand what the true side of it is. That stuff that, when you've never experienced a narcissistic relationship, and you're just say like you are just a regular person, and you have an awesome relationship with your husband, and you have an awesome relationship with your wife. You guys communicate, you guys don't argue, you and your family, you have respect and cleanliness in your house and everything. You have no idea narcissistic people exist, and definitely you don't know that narcissistic relationships exist. Because if a friend came to you and said, "Hey, if your girlfriend came to you and said, "Hey, I'm with my man. He keeps slapping me in my face every time he gets mad," and you stay with him. The person in the regular relationship, the only thing they're going to look at you and say, "Why are you staying with a person that does that?" Why would they say that? Because that's normal. When I grew up in Seattle in the project. Hey, when your kids act bad, you bring out the belt and you whoop them. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. Absolutely not. Now, are there times that may deserve that? Yeah. If I if I cuss my mama out or slapped her in the face or something, yeah, that deserves. You gotta understand that that doesn't happen. That's a world lesson too. But just because you didn't clean your room or you got bad grades, no, no, there's a different way to handle that. You can do it way different. But when you notice you come across a narcissist, ask about their childhood. That's very important. All you got to do is listen. Listen to what they say about their childhood. Ask them about how they feel about their parents. What's your relationship with your mom? What's your relationship with your dad? You better listen to all that because all of it is crucial, every single piece of it. Why? Because that's who they learned how to be a parent from. It's obvious. When you understand the sixth sense, which is my gift that I'm sharing with you actually, everything is obvious. Listen to their life. Their life is their teacher. That's the only way they can know anything. The person you're talking to a person that lived the life that they're about to tell you if you ask. This is the life I live. Oh, okay. So that means you're that adult. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, we can't do anything. Why? Because I don't live in that perspective of life. I don't. When I think about the narcissistic fog, arguing with her every single week, my body breaking down, I'm getting sick all the time, my skin is looking horrible, I'm always having headaches. I'm saying to myself, I'm never like this. This is what I was saying to myself when I was in the fog. I'm never hardly sick. I, I'm never hardly weak. All that cholesterol or cortisol being dumped in my body from all them weekly arguments was breaking my body down. I was, man. It is no joke, people in the narcissistic fog. Are you experiencing these things? My body is nothing like that today. Nothing. Here, let me how to do this on my phone. If I guess. Okay. I'm gonna put this link. Let me see if I can do this. How do I okay. More post a comment. Okay, just a second. All right, I posted a link if you wanna ask me a question. Yeah, I agree with you, Teddy. No, with a narcissist, you have to be strong because you have to go 100% no contact if you want to get out of that fog. You have to come up with an exit plan, and the exit plan must be a way that you can have 100% no contact. They cannot reach you in any way physically. You can block them from everything. Social media, which way is my mic going? Social media. Sorry if you're hearing all this stuff. Everything. You got to block everything. That's the only way you're going to escape them. Okay. That's the only way. As I, as my narcissistic fog moments keep come to me, I write them down so I can share because I just I laugh at them now. You know, it's so it's just so funny to see things from the other end of when I met her. It's just so like, oh, so that's what you were doing when you were talking to me on the phone at night. Oh, got it. That's how you were doing it. Okay, that's why you listen. That's why you were always whispering. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Let me tell you guys another one. It just popped in my mind as I'm sitting here talking. I remember, I think she was I think she was still fooling around with both her baby daddies, honestly, I do, right? Well, I remember one time she we were upstairs talking and I was like, you know, I want you to be, and I was being sincere. I was like, I want you to be open and honest with me about your feelings of how this is going because, you know, this is heading downhill. We're not recovering. We're always arguing. She goes, okay, I gotta tell you this. I was like, what? Well, one day I was in the car crying from one of our arguments. This is how she started out. I was crying from one of my arguments, and so and so called me, her oldest baby daddy. So and so called me out the blue, and he just said, "Hey, I got this crazy feeling that something was wrong with you," and just called you. And he just and he just happened to call her right at this exact time. And we talked, and I was telling him about this and this and that. You know what I said? This is what I said. You know, maybe that was a good thing. Maybe that was, you know, a sign. That's what I said. That's what I said to myself. And let me tell you something. The person I am today, never once in my life, out of 54 years of my life, when I'm going through something, one of my ex-girlfriends did not call me out the blue to check on me, to say, hey, I could feel something was wrong. They were already talking. Okay, already. She was just saying that to test me, to see if I would say anything. So now she could be comfortable talking with them all the time. They probably never, you know what? They probably never stopped seeing each other. I just thought they did because when I first met her, and here's another sign. When I first met her, she was like insanely skinny, like unhealthy looking skinny, unhealthy like, right? Not the skinny like, oh, she just a skinny girl. But it was a skinny like she had just broke up with somebody skinny, not eating. Dark rings under her eyes. And of course she's not gonna tell me that's why she's looking like that. But I remember bringing around my family. They were like, why is she so skinny, Linnell? She's like I was like, oh, she's just skinny. They were like that looks like unhealthy type of skinny. I was like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, it does look like that, and it was. She clearly, listen, she had clearly just broke up with somebody. It just happened, or they were still in the middle. Who knows? But those are the type of situations that get people hurt, right? Here I am coming in absolutely clueless what's going on in her life because she's not telling me because they all lie about everything, right? That could get me hurt because she's still involved with somebody with feelings. And this guy, he doesn't know. All he knows is that I could have been messing with her the whole time they've been together. Who knows, right? That's why you got to pay attention to the red flags in the beginning. You know, if you, how do you protect yourself from even experiencing a narcissist, okay? And you're just a regular person. How to protect yourself? Let me give you a couple things. Listen for the red flags. Just ask narcissists things that they would naturally lie about. Say, hey, are you single? Something simple as that, right? And this is what you say to them, okay? You got to add something to it so the narcissist is aware, so they will probably leave you alone faster, okay? You say it like this to a narcissist. Hey, are you single? And they'll quickly say, well, yeah, yeah, because they all lie, right? And then after they say, yeah, quickly, you say, good. I'm glad you told me that because let me explain something to you, okay? If I find out in any way that you're lying to me, this whole interaction of us getting to know each other is immediately over. I want you to understand that, okay? Just and that's going to put the narcissist on. That's going to make them alert because I promise you, they will have never, ever, ever in their life have somebody say that to them. I promise you this, people. I promise you that you say that to them. You say, if you're lying, in any way, somebody called, said this, somebody knocks on, leaves a note on my car, says something, we're over it. It's done. I'm not calling you. I'm blocking you. Everything's blocked, and I'm not explaining anything. Is that clear? They're gonna say yes because they're gonna still want whatever they're trying to come after you for, but they're not going to last very long because they're already going to know that they've been placed on notice. Okay, and they can only hold up the facade for so long, especially for a person that has placed them on notice. Okay, so that'll help protect you from running into a narcissist because their whole life is a lie. So they're going to be lying. Okay, that's a gift. I mean, that's what they're going to do. Excuse me. So hopefully, a lot of you guys will be able to take that information and use it properly, so you won't end up with a narcissist like I did. So you so you won't have to end up making a channel like this one because of but mine is a gift. The purpose of mine was to wake up, find the sixth sense, help others who may be in this situation, this horrible, horrific, uh, narcissistic relationship, which I don't wish on my worst enemy. So it'll protect you from that. Just it's really simple. I mean, it's really simple things how to protect yourself from narcissists. They're liars, so just tell them up front you catch them lying, the relationship's over. It'll be over fairly quickly because you will catch them in the lie. All right. And let them know that you're not going to be explaining anything because that's what they do. Right. And also let them know, too, hey, this is another quick thing, too. This is another thing how you can get rid of them quick. By the way, I don't have sex quick with people until I get to know them. That will, that right there will eliminate them really quickly, right? Or just let them know where you're at. Maybe you're in a place, hey, I'm looking for just to be monogamous with monogamous, say all the words that are like kryptonite to them. I'm looking to be monogamous with one person in a relationship. They're gonna be like, oh, they probably say, yeah, 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 so they can get into, thinking they're gonna have sex with you, but you're gonna be like, hey, I don't really jump into the sack like that. I wait to get to know a person, they'll be out of here real quick. Okay? Real quick. That's a tip to save you from a narcissist. What else? Can I think of any other ones? What are some good ones? What else are some good ones? Um, Narcissists like to lie about their finances. They love to lie about their finances. That's a good one. Just say, uh, you know what? I like to see the credit report of people I date or whatever, right? I'll show you and say it just like this. I will show you mine if you show me yours. That they'll be out of here. Okay? Because their credit is horrible because they do if they do horrible things to people, they do horrible things to businesses, including themselves. So and the businesses reflect that on their credit report. You guys don't really understand. You will get a 99%, I'm not going to say 100%, 99% of narcissists. And the reason why I say 99%, because the narcissist I was with wasn't financially irresponsible. Because if that would have been like that, that would have been a complete red flag for me. I would have been like, oh no, I'm not being with you at all. Right. But she wasn't. Right. So that's why I say 99%. But 99% of them are financially irresponsible, and their personal credit report will reflect that. They cannot lie about that. Okay. Because it reflects their life. If they treat their partner like crap, they're not paying their bills on time. It's always the job's fault. The business is too much high interest. Somebody should have told them about student loan debt, else they wouldn't have never got it. If somebody made all this stuff to make them whatever, it doesn't matter. But those are things that you can to make a narcissist run away from you and just go find the next victim. Because who I am today, narcissists, they can feel me because I can see them. They don't, you got to remember, they don't know, not remember, they don't know that I can see them, but they can feel me, but they don't know it's because I can see them, because I'm looking directly at them. I look them in their eyes. Narcissists usually make themselves aware. They're usually the loudest ones, or they're really talking about people, putting people down or something, or they really make themselves known who they are, and then I just focus in on them. As soon as I catch a person, say like I'm in a crowd of people and I catch somebody putting down another person, I focus in on that person because 9 times out of 10, that's a narcissist, because they do things like that. Things that serve no purpose in society. That's what they do. So when they look around and see all the drones that usually follow loud narcissists laughing and giggling, they're going to look at me and seeing that I'm not, and I'm staring right at them in their eyes, and then they're going to start wondering why I'm not laughing, and then they're going to focus on me, and then they're going to start saying things that I'm going to counter them on. This will be you if you get out of that narcissistic fog. If you make it, you guys, I know a lot of people who come across the channel think I'm joking. I'm not joking. There are people that end up in mental institutions because of relationship with narcissists. You guys believe that? Can you believe that? I do. I tell everybody that come to this channel, I had to ask God to help me escape. I had the type of narcissist who I tried to leave many times, whom I tried to leave many times. She would give the best performance ever in movie history, crying, begging, hanging onto my leg, dragging on the floor. I'm thinking to myself, there is no way somebody would embarrass themselves in front of another person to make them stay. I didn't know the capabilities of what a narcissist would do to complete their goals. Because I kept putting myself in that situation. I was thinking, would I do that for would I do that for a woman? If she's trying to leave me, would I block the door, drag on her leg, and then she turns around, forgives me, and then I go right back to doing what I was doing. I couldn't do that. But that's the mistake I made because I kept putting myself in the place of a narcissist, who I knew nothing about. Narcissists have no limits to what they will do to the people that love them. No limits. I hope this helps a lot of you guys. I really do. God has been putting this on my mind, and I'm just trying to figure out how the structure of it. That's all. I'm just trying to figure out the structure. What's up, lottery guru? How you doing, sir? LJ, my mother was a narcissist. You are on the money. Everything you say, LJ, she did to my father. Man, you know, so crazy though, lottery. This is so crazy. I remember she used to tell me how her mother used to treat her father, and you know, I used to think to myself, she thinks she's gonna do that to me. You really believe in your mind? I used to say this to myself. You really believe in your mind that I'm gonna allow you to do that to me? Stay with you for years. 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I know people don't believe there are people that stay with narcissists that long, but it's true. I thought to myself, you are bananas if you think I'm gonna stay with you that long with this abuse. Are you crazy? She did not see it coming. She begged me. Oh my God. 15 voicemails of her crying and begging, "Oh my God, Linnell, why are you leaving me? Who did you find somebody else?" It's like, that is weird. When you listen, when you finally leave them and you get the voicemails, make sure you save them. Go through your healing, okay? Don't listen to them until you're healed. Wait till you're healed and then go back and listen to them. They're going to be weird to listen to. She really doesn't know why I left her, people. Do you hear me? She really doesn't know why I left her. Something's wrong with her. The emails reflect the same thing. And then shortly after she got through the shock of me leaving her, guess what? She went back to her normal self, went right back to it. Lies, fake emails to people. Hey, he did this and that, calling right back to normal. It's weird. Now they just go on, guess what, to the next person and do the same thing. But know that it doesn't go on forever. I feel sorry for it when I see, you know what? It's so crazy. What's so crazy, Lottery? You can see this out in public because these narcissistic, uh, uh, it's man or woman, when they do embarrassing things to their significant other in public in front of people, you better believe that's a narcissist. Listen, you guys. Whenever that happens, it doesn't happen to me often, but whenever I'm out and I see something like that, that person gets my full focus. Full focus. I'm like, oh, you're a narcissist. Yeah, you're embarrassing your wife in public in front of everybody and think it's fucking funny. Oh, you're a narcissist. Got it. Now I'm gonna embarrass you because I feel like this now. If I ever catch a narcissist out, I mean, I'm gonna have to. No, now don't get me wrong. If I hear it and it's within a crowd that I don't know none of the people, I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, I'm talking about if I'm part of the crowd and I catch somebody doing that, I'm gonna embarrass that person because I feel like this. If they think it's funny to embarrass somebody they're with in front of me, which makes me listen, which makes me uncomfortable, That means I'm allowed to make you uncomfortable too in front of the same people. That's how I feel. So that's what I do. I make them uncomfortable. I'll say something in reverse and make it counter, just a different perspective of the same thing, but with them included in it. That's what I do. They have to know, listen, this is the superpower, so you guys understand. They have to know they can't do that shit. They have to know that at the moment that they do it. Because if they're doing it at the moment, they have to know at the moment. Well, at least they got to know that they're not going to do that to you or when they're around you. I have to. I make narcissists uncomfortable to be around me. You don't get to say shit and make on shit uncomfortable for me. No. Oh, I see what you. When they do that, I say it like this. Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Oh, gotcha. You're trying to make me uncomfortable in front of who? These people. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna do it to you. That's what you have to do. Now, you can't listen. You can't stop a narcissist from doing whatever they do, but you can stop them from doing it to you. You can do that. But it takes practice because you get when you don't understand that narcissists exist and then they do shocking shit or say shocking shit like that out in public. Excuse me for cussing. I get kind of amped up. When they do that kind of stuff out in public, it's a shock for you. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that in public. You're like, you know what I'm saying? It catches you off guard because normal people in the correct perspective of life do not do such things in public to their loved one, embarrass them. They wait, hey, let's talk later. Let's talk when we're in private. That's normal. You don't do that in front of people, but you come across the ones that do it. I'm like, oh, you got my focus. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Oh, you didn't say that last night. Oh, you gonna talk about that at the dinner table in front of everybody? That's what I would say. That's if I saw somebody do that at the table, I would say you're gonna talk about their private business right here at the dinner table in front of everybody that don't want to hear it. That's none of our business. Is that what you're about to do? It sounds like it. It sounds like you're about to talk about something that I don't need to know about. That's what I would say to them. You have to know. Hmm, I get it. Listen, I know it's kind of sick, but I get enjoyment off of embarrassing them in public. I do. I do. I enjoy it. I get it. Because if they can do it, I can do it. It does. Would you say, Green? Doesn't matter if they know they cannot learn. A tiger cannot. And that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if they know, if they learn, if they don't learn. It really doesn't matter. As long as they know the shit doesn't work with you. They listen, people. They outnumber us. Well, I don't want to say that. I can't say they outnumber us. It looks like they do. Put it this way: if you look at society and social media, it'll look like narcissists outnumber us, but they don't. It just looks like that. They don't. People that are normal, they just don't want to deal with that kind of stuff in public. But you have to a point. Okay, you have to. I'm not saying that you have to deal with strangers like that, but I'm talking about family members. I don't care who it is. It could be my mama. Do you understand me? I do not allow. So let me give you an example of my mom. Right now, I've never had a problem with my mother in my life. Well, lately I noticed when I talk to her about serious matters, she doesn't. She makes funny faces and acts like she's not interested in stuff like that. I'm like, why are you doing that? Because she had been doing that for a while. I kept ignoring it and ignoring it. I'm like, okay, this is getting regular. So I had to ask her, this is what I do now. Okay, this is how I live my life. Because you got to understand, everybody doesn't have the same perspective about the world. Every single person has a different perspective of the world. Okay. So what I do is if somebody's hurting me, because that hurts me, if somebody's hurting me, they may not know that they're hurting me. So I have to let them know. So I told my mother, I said, "Hey, mom, when you do that, when you make faces when I'm talking about serious matters, that tells me that you don't want to hear what I have to say. Can you stop doing that?" Oh, Linnell, I didn't know. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. You didn't know, so that's what I'm telling you. And then it happened again. I said, we had, remember, mom, we had that talk. Yeah, you did it again. So then there's a consequence. Okay, next week we're not going to spend our normal time together because I have to show you that you got to stop doing that. That's what I mean. You have to do that with anybody because if it hurts you, it doesn't matter who it is. They have to know that they have to stop doing that. He said, Larry said, LJ, narcissists are really good at convincing you that the other party is the bad guy. For example, my mom was physically and mentally abused. Oh, she used to abuse the father growing. Oh, abused to my father. Abused my father growing up. It's crazy how she was so convincing. Wait, let me make sure I read that right. The other parties that the bad guy, for example, my mom was physically and mentally abusive to my father growing up. You know what? She used to try to do that too. I used to tell her, the ex narcissist of mine, I used to tell her, "Hey, stop doing this. You're acting like this." She was like, I'm not that person. I'm not that person you keep portraying me to be." I'm like, "Yes, you are because you're doing it. What are you talking about?" In their minds, this is the seriousness of it, people. In their minds, they really believe they are not the people who they are. It is not your job. Listen, whatever it is that was in the narcissist's mind of who I was with, that shit is deep rooted, very, very deep. That's nothing I can do. That's help. That's help that it can only come from a professional. If you're in with a narcissist right now, you have to accept that. You have to accept that. Once you do, you can start to move on and save yourself. Don't be caught up. Sorry, hold on for a second. Once you once you accept that, you can start to move on. Let me see this. My cousin is still connected with my narcissist ex-girlfriend. Ooh. I've tried to explain how much this hurts that my cousin accepts the abuse my ex delivered to me. We barely talk. You know what I would do, gangrene? This is what I would do to my cousin. I said, if you're friends with them, if you're friends with my ex, we are no longer communicating. That's how serious it is, gangrene. That's how serious I am today. If you are, and this is what you got to understand, gangrene. If they are friends, that means they have something in common. It doesn't matter, and this is what I want people to really understand. It doesn't matter who the narcissist is. Don't get caught up if they're a family member. We think because they're a family member, it's somehow different. If your ex narcissist is friends with your cousin, they obviously have something in common. You don't want to be around that. Goodbye, cousin. Goodbye. See you later. Why? Because you're a friend with a person that's very, very bad person, and you guys are cool and you guys get along. If you guys get along, you guys got things in common. And and I don't want anything to do with that at all. You better believe that. That's never happening. All of that connection. When you get it, ever since I got this vision, everything is connected. Everything makes sense. Like, for example, let me give you an example, gangrene. If I came across your ex I would immediately know it's a narcissist, and I would not. She's a narcissist, and I would not be friends with her. You can tell by the way people live. You can tell. You when you see people make connections, there's a reason why they make connections. Believe that. You're right. My cousin lacks empathy. Yep. See, now I now I gray rock. I don't reach out. She accepts the abuse towards me. You know what? This is what I say. If you can be this way, gangrene, don't avoid. Be very man. I don't know how to say this to people. Be very direct with narcissists. They love when you try to avoid or say something else or pretend like you're no. Just say, hey, listen, cousin. I'm not taking your calls anymore because you are friends with an ex that I cannot stand. And I don't want to explain to you the abuse. Even though you know the abuse, you're still friends with you. Don't call me. I'm not accepting your calls. So they don't think, oh, he's trying to avoid me. He don't know. You everybody listen to this. You go heads on direct with the narcissist. You do it. Don't play with them and you disappear. Don't explain because this is when they're going to try to convince you otherwise. Hey, what do you mean? You're tripping. Why are you doing? No. Goodbye. For the rest of my life, narcissists will know I can see them. They're really listen. They're really obvious because they live in listen. There are billions of perspectives in this world. Billions because each person has their own. Narcissists live in one perspective, one. They live in one of those, and they don't know it. They think that perspective is the entire world, and they live there, and they don't know they live there. So imagine me standing outside of that perspective, looking at them in that perspective. That's what my life is. So when I see them, they do certain things. Hey, sorry you say stupid stuff like this. Hey, sorry you feel that way. What do you mean sorry I feel that way? Something that you caused me to feel this way? So you sorry that you caused me to feel this way. It doesn't even make sense. So as soon as you hear statements like that, that's a narcissist. They don't know they don't know when they say, sorry you feel that way. This is what you got to grasp when you're a normal person. And this is why it pisses you off when you say it, when you hear it. They don't know that that's a narcissistic statement. Sorry you feel that way, especially when they caused it. You see what I'm saying? And there's a whole bunch of them. People that been with them. You guys know all the statements that reflect back or something like a boomerang or something they do. It's so stupid. I hear you. We used to tell 4 weeks, 4 times a week. Now once every 4 months. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You guys used to talk 4 times a week. Gotcha. Now once every 4 months, I should be direct, as you said. Listen. You have to be direct with narcissists. I'm going to keep reiterating to this people. I know this is and you got to get angry with yourself, gangrene. They got you uncomfortable. And so now you got to talk to them while they're making you uncomfortable. It don't even make sense. I'm never letting, and this is just me, I'm never letting a narcissist make me uncomfortable like that again in public. When we talk on the phone, I'm never doing that. I'm going to catch them. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. Don't do all that. Hey, I'm ignoring your call. Let me push in. No, pick that shit up and go, hey, listen, I ain't talking to you no more. Why? What? You think because just because I'm with your friend, you think I don't care what you say. I'm just telling you, I'm not talking to you. So stop calling me. So when you call me now, I'm just be direct. When you call me now, I'm gonna put you on block. So it's gonna automatically go to voicemail or whatever it does, right? If you text me, I'm not going to respond. I'm just letting you know that now. So do not contact me. You have to be direct with them. Then the narcissist will start, and then they will go with their flying. It counts on your family. Then they'll start using their flying monkeys. Hey, go to your cousin, your brother and sister. Hey, so and so is tripping. They thinking this and that. Hey, let them do all that. Let them do. Hey, don't respond to any of it. That's all meant to you. That's all meant for you to respond. So don't do any of it. Don't respond to nothing. Hey, your cousin or your brother, hey, so and so called me and said, hey, listen, if they call you, do not call me. Do you understand that? You got to let every single flying monkey know, if you call me with information from so and so, you and I will not be talking anymore. You guys got to understand that. That's how serious it is. You must remove all negativity from your life. I'm trying to explain this to you. I have zero negativity, zero stress, zero debt, zero problems, zero anything negative in my life. I'm in a space where people don't know that it even exists. Once you discover this type of peace, you protect it with everything. You definitely, a narcissist will never be able to enter my space ever. And I don't care who it is. You understand? It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who the narcissist is. If I detect some negativity or some pain or something, it's immediately alerted to me because I don't have it in my life. So it might as well be a fire truck. Do you understand? Anything negative in my life might as well be a big long fire truck, the one with the long ladder and the third person driving the back. It might as well be that. It's immediately removed. Immediately, whatever it is. Now, the difference is, like, say like a bill came and I didn't know it was coming or something. That's not a problem for me. That's just something I need to take care of. All right. It's not like that. I'm talking about family, people, you know, stuff like that. Be direct, gangrene. You have to be. The narcissist must know, not you. Everybody in my family knows I'm not the one. Everybody knows that. It's been that way for years, though. I've always been like that. I'm not the family member that you can call and borrow money from and never pay back. They know that would never happen, ever. Well, I hope this video helps most of you. I hope everybody, not most of you. I hope it helps everybody, but in reality, it's going to help some of you. I put a link up there if you wanted in the chat. If you wanted to ask me some questions, you don't have to come on camera or anything like that. But this is I'm excited about this journey. I'm excited about how many people I'm going to help. Um, I'm enjoying the approach. I'm enjoying the approach of how I'm doing it by entering the narcissistic fog. I don't think many people know that it exists, but it's very, very real for sure. Uh, the main purpose is to help the people that are in it, but if it can help the people that prevent them from entering, the people that do not know that these people exist, uh, when you put it this way, when you wake up and you understand what I mean about the true narcissistic people, when you realize it can be anybody, it can be your child, it can be your family members, it can be your friends, you're going to have some decisions to make. And it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be really hard. It's going to be like you're going to have to remove them from your life. If you ever want peace in your life, you're going to have to remove them. You're going to have to remove the people. Believe it or not, I had a friend that I had to remove from my life. It was the weirdest. I knew throughout our friendship relationship, I could feel this jealousy of me, which was the weird. I used to think I was tripping. And once I found complete peace, because he had been in my life the whole time, he was then completely highlighted. Like, okay, this is a problem. So one day, I mean, I knew all the kind of signs that he was like that, but I said one day, I said, okay, I'm gonna throw him a test. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to tell him an exciting goal of mine that I reached. It's very, something very close to me that you would tell your close friends, and then to see how he responds to it. So I sent him a text about, and this is something big. Okay, this is not something small. It's something big. He didn't even respond. He didn't even respond. And then I waited a couple days, right? And then after a couple days, I forwarded him a stupid video, and then he responded to the stupid video. So that told me at that moment that I had to remove him from my life, because when you have people, let me make sure people that have goals and that are striving to be more out of life, and there's that understand that there is more. When you have people in your life that really and truly are there for you, uh, uh, want you to succeed in life, they're happy for you. They're excited for you. They're jumping over your shoulders to give you ideas to help you further go along. Hey man, really? Okay, this can help. You know what? But when you got those people that don't respond, don't really care, not and they're supposed to be your friends, and they're supposed to be your close friends, you have to remove those people because they secretly are jealous of you in the background, because that's what jealous people do. Gangrene says, I just found this channel 2 weeks ago. You are helping me tremendously. Gangrene, let me tell you something too, sir. I uh I just started this channel. You were at the very beginning of something that's new for me here. Because I have a channel called Savings Minus Debt as well, okay, where I help people own the business of themselves by mathematically showing them that they do not. Okay. And that is what transformed me into, well, helped transform me into this. But the main thing was the narcissistic relationship. So you were at the very beginning, sir, of a brand new channel that will one day be worldwide, because narcissists are worldwide, and this is here forever. So the more people that I can prepare to prepare themselves to either be how to identify narcissists so you don't get in a relationship with one, or get in a business relationship with a narcissist or whatever, right? Or if you're in it, how to get out of it, what are the signs. This is, I forgot where I was going with that. Damn it. Where was I going with I forgot. Just the signs. I can just help a lot of people. Okay. I think I was going there with that. But I love what I do. I love it, man. It's all new. Yeah. I could feel it inside. I could feel God as, this is my mission. God has brought me here. He knew I was strong enough to survive. He knew if I just chose him, I could get out, which I did. That's the only reason why I'm on the mic talking to you guys today. And I'm here to be an example of what you transform into when you make it through, when you survive the narcissist. Okay. I'm an example of that. I'm an example of the superpower that you will gain by easily and quickly identifying them, uh, embarrassing them in public, or at the moment they try to do that, because they love to try to do that, because that's what they do. You know, they think it's funny. Uh, you will be, especially the younger generation right now. You guys put it. Here, this is a perfect example. Okay, this is a perfect example. The younger generation, you guys, 20, late 20s, 30s. You guys are the new. generation focus. You guys just don't know your brand. They're like, hey, we're young, we're just in that, but you guys just don't know you are brand. You guys are the new people to the system, sort of like you're the new employee at the job. Okay, look at it that way. That's it, right? So when you guys get together on social events, the first thing you guys want to do is talk about what you do for a living. Hey, I'm this, I do that. Da, 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 da. Well, every now and then, there's going to be somebody in your group that will subtly put down a person's profession or what they do or who they're married to, or pull you to the side and say, "Hey, have you seen the way so and so's husband looks?" Or where those people. You gotta be. I want you to be fully aware of those people that like to just talk about other people. Those usually be narcissistic people. Why are you talking about another person like that, or another person's spouse, the way they look? They're not with you. They are not your type. I don't care. I don't care who a person's with. If the woman's fat, skinny, tall, what that got to do with me? Nothing. Where you work? Where you work? How much you make? Da, 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 da. And then when you got the person talking about, hey, I make six figures here and seven figures there, you got that's your generation. You guys, they love to throw out the money. How much? When you have real money, I'm gonna just share this with you, okay? You can believe it or not. When you have real money and understand how the economy really works, you don't tell people that don't have money that you have money. You don't do that. There's no reason for it. Like in your generation, like the 30s and the 20s, you guys don't know that you can't buy a house with a mortgage. You don't know that you can't own equity in a mortgaged house. You can't own equity in a house that you didn't have the money to buy. These are things that you guys don't know because you guys are brand new to the system. You guys don't know that. But in the crowd, you guys will talk like that. You got to listen for stuff like that. Hey, I own this. The narcissist love to tell you about how he owns. Hey, I own this and I got these properties and this is my house and this. All you got to do is turn to them and say, "Do you got a mortgage?" And when they say yes, they think that's normal. They don't own nothing. They don't know that they don't own nothing, but they just like to brag and say they do. This is how you quickly identify the narcissist because they love to talk about stuff like that. And then try to demean somebody in the crowd if your house is not big enough or the neighborhood you might live in. Oh, you live in that zip code? Oh yeah, I live over here. So and so. So why are you telling me that? I don't care where you live. Roll up with roll up with the new cyber truck. Oh, that's yours? Yeah. You making payments? Yep. Who cares? If they're making payments, listen, if they're making payments, it doesn't matter. Okay. The drive payments, listen to me closely, people. Payments make the driver of the car irrelevant. Payments mean you couldn't afford to buy it. That's what that means. It's just a mathematical fact. And you see somebody get emotional about a mathematical fact. That's like somebody getting emotional about one plus one equaling two. Oh, I don't like that. You don't like what? One plus one equaling two. I'm crying about it. Why are you crying about that? 30 years ago, I saw those gossipers who became happy at other people's tragedy. Yep. I didn't know at the time there was a word for these people. Exactly. You're exactly right, gangrene. When you see that and you see somebody like that, I look at a person that gets pleasure off of stuff like stuff. Okay. Narcissists will tell on themselves without knowing that they're telling on themselves, but you gotta know what to listen for. Oh, I was just playing. Why would you play that way? I don't get it. Society, man, that's a whole different discussion. But you could discover the narcissists. They're really easy to spot. You got to be aware, ready to listen. Just know that they're out there because they just say stuff at the weirdest times. You got to be ready because when they say stuff, it'll shock you. You're just like, oh my god, I can't believe they said that. Why? You're like, who would say that in public? And why would they? They're not okay. You go through this, and when you could just stop and say, wait a minute, they did say it, so now I'm gonna embarrass them. All right, I am going to wrap it up. Damn, hour and 20 minutes. Wow. I did not realize I was going that long. Wow. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the channel. Gang Green, thank you for participating. Lottery Guru, thank you, sir. Lottery Guru, Teddy, thank you, sir. Dark, and you guys in the background, much appreciated. Uh, if you enjoy the content, you see the video later, hit that like button, please, and leave a comment. Subscribe. I don't, I've always been a person. I can't stand going to new channels and right in the very beginning they tell me to like the video and subscribe. I'm like, I don't even know if I like your content yet. Don't tell me to do that yet, okay? That's why I like to save it at the end of the video. So if you like it, sometimes you totally forget. You could be wrapped up in the content, totally forget to hit the like button. I do that all the time. So I'm letting you guys know now. Hit the subscribe button. Appreciate everything. Thank you, Gang Graham. Much appreciated. No problem at all, man. This is hey gangrene. This is forever comments, right? Or content, excuse me. This is forever content because narcissists are here forever. They are. All right, so they are. All right. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. Okay. All right. Later.